What's going on, guys? Hope everybody's doing well, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. I've been really sick the past couple days, still having issues with my central nervous system and breathing, so just bear with me, but I wanted to do a video today. I would normally make it a lot longer and rant about this and celebrate because the lawsuit for Ripple versus the SEC is officially over. I just want to give a huge congratulations to everybody, and a big thank you to everybody that's been watching my content since 2018. A serious thank you, guys, from late nights on the charts to deep dives, and just so many updates along the way, and thank you guys for sticking with this channel through the ups and downs. It's taken longer than any of us have imagined, and we've watched XRP get dragged through the mud even back in March 2020 at 11 or 12 cents, and then it was stuck between 20 cents to 50 cents for what felt like forever. It's been a very long, emotional ride, no doubt about it, but we're still here today, so I just want to say, XRP is not only alive, but it's actually cleared a massive regulatory hurdle. In this case, as many people have already said, is setting a huge precedent for other alts. And for anybody new to the channel, normally my voice doesn't sound like this, at least in my head I'm sounding very congested. But today it's not just about celebration, it's about gratitude. And for the XRP community and everybody that believed in it when it wasn't easy or convenient to believe in it. Now obviously we're not done yet. I know that XRP is no longer at 20 cents to 50 cents, but we're well over $2 and we did break over $3 and the journey continues. But for the first time in a long time, we're stepping forward with clarity. Now stay with me, guys, because I believe this is very important. I want to go through the case, things that we should consider going forward, and then I want to talk about my expectations for Bitcoin, XRP, and a variety of assets this year. So a quick summary from my understanding and what we've seen during this lawsuit for XRP with Ripple versus the SEC, and please fact check this info. So in July 2023, we had the United States District Judge Torres rule that XRP is not inherently a security. So that means that buying and selling XRP on public exchanges does not violate US securities laws. However, the court was also talking about Ripple's institutional sales of XRP. Over $700 million were considered investment contracts and subject to all these securities regulations. But the big deal recently is that Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple, announced on March 19th that the SEC withdrew its appeal, effectively ending this 4-year battle. So this is a huge victory not just for Ripple, but the entire crypto industry and for the regulatory landscape for crypto. So I'm sure you guys have seen this article and watched this 4-minute video of Brad Garlinghouse the other day, and let's kind of ask some questions going off of this, because let's just call it what it is. The SEC was manipulating the market, just like these shadow figures that short companies and walk away, controlling the media as well to share negative news and influence retail to sell and walk away with millions of dollars, and they find ways to do it basically legally, which is a joke. There are so many things in the crypto space with politics, manipulation, and corruption as well. And unfortunately, with our own United States government bodies. So I have to be careful what I say here, because per usual, the algorithm will ban this video, but you guys get it. So a few questions regarding this, and I would highly recommend watching some of the amazing attorneys that will break this down very easily. Jeremy Hogan, John Deaton, James Filan, Fred Rispoli. There's like probably several other attorneys I'm forgetting, but thank you to all of them for breaking down some of this complex information throughout this case. So now the elephant in the room, can the SEC come after the company Ripple or XRP again? And the answer would be not over this. So the SEC had their chance to appeal the judge's ruling that XRP is not a security when it's traded on public exchanges, and they chose not to. So the very big news about all of this is that decision is now final, and under US law, once a case has been decided and the appeal window closes, which it is now, it cannot be relitigated. So that right there is a big reason to celebrate. Now, could they try to come out of nowhere and sue Ripple in the future over something else? Could there be some other bad actors? Sure, absolutely, anything is possible, and any regulator could do that in theory, but as far as XRP's classification goes, the battle is over. Now, just because XRP cleared this hurdle, it doesn't mean we're in the clear forever, so keep an open mind because laws can evolve. Congress could pass new crypto-specific regulations and change how assets are treated in the future, both good or bad. But with this new administration being, or seemingly, being very pro-crypto, I think this is going to be a good thing on the big picture. So I have to emphasize that Ripple didn't just win this case against the SEC, they are setting a legal precedent for other assets, Solana, ADA, HBAR, Algo, any assets that you can think of. And I know I've said this for years, and I still mean this, that when all is said and done in the future, a lot of these crypto projects that hated on Ripple and XRP for years are going to end up thanking them. So where does this leave us? XRP is not a security. The SEC backed down, Ripple stood tall, and the XRP community won. So this moment we're in right now is a lot more than just a legal win. This is a signal that the United States is waking up to crypto innovation. So what are my expectations for XRP? And this isn't financial advice. This is a guy that's held XRP for years through volatility, even during the crashes, during the sideways ranging. I am waiting for XRP to blast into new all-time highs. The only question I have is how deep are we going to pull back, or if this was enough, and how long are we going to range before the real moves into new all-time highs? So when news comes out like this, I'm always a little cynical, and I think it's important to do that and not think that we're just going up, up, and up, because news has a way of coming out at very interesting times. And we could see any types of pullbacks or flash wicks for Bitcoin, meaning that would affect altcoins to go a lot lower before a big recovery. So that's in the back of my mind. And this is the same stuff I've been sharing for months for Bitcoin, even XRP in November when it took off, talking about healthy retracement levels in the case that we see a deeper retracement. So for Bitcoin, discussing the flash wicks we saw in 2013, we could talk about March 2020's flash wick, where we even went below the 8-month EMA, leading to a much bigger rise. And then even in August, which is a lot more recent, August 2024, we saw a very deep flash wick all the way down to 49K. What's important to realize in crypto is after some of the deepest flash wicks or corrections, they usually lead to some of the biggest rises in the crypto space. So in the case that we see any deep retracements, flash wicks, where Bitcoin pulls back and Bitcoin dominance rises or stays the same, alts get hit really hard. But in that case, I still believe that each of the deepest flash wicks or corrections in the crypto space over the big picture lead to much bigger runs. So that's at least what's going through my mind right now, looking at today's cycle, holding above the 8-month EMA, which is very important for Bitcoin and altcoins. If you care about altcoins and you're looking at a variety of alts at lows, we should be rooting for Bitcoin to hold this level, consolidate, and blast significantly higher, leading to the crash of Bitcoin dominance, which I still believe we get this year. But in the case that Bitcoin ends up ranging longer or backtesting previous highs up here, sentiment will get very low. And friendly reminder, this is just a very basic, big picture view on the monthly time frame, so this doesn't take a high degree of skill. We're just looking at basic retracement levels and saying, yeah, that's possible in theory. And this is the same stuff I've talked about ever since XRP popped, is looking at typical retracement levels after drawing over 500% up, as we can see, when it was like 49 cents, going up here, went over 500%, almost 600%. In theory, it is completely healthy for XRP to come down to lower retracements. This could be enough and awesome. We consolidate and then blast sooner. That'd be great. But I think a lot of this will be timed where Bitcoin actually blasts and we have the official crash of Bitcoin dominance. So I'd love to see that as soon as possible. I believe that we do see that this year. So basically, to summarize, I believe that XRP's drawing a count from here to here, and wherever it finds its bottom, even if we already hit our bottom, we end up going much higher, similar to the Fetch fractal. So let me pull that up over here. This is something that we've seen for Fetch from the 2021 top, it crashed the lows. From a retracement from swing low to swing high, it did a double bottom basically on the 786. So we have 1, 2, 3, up to the golden extensions to the -2.7, and then later up to a perfect -4.236. So obviously patterns can be different, but I'm just showing you an example of waves being drawn that are very, very volatile. And that's also why I'm looking at XRP for a similar pattern. It might not be like for like, but this is very volatile already, doing over 500%, and anything is possible, whether it stops here and holds over $2 or even comes lower to the 786 like Fetch. I believe, or I'm betting, that it leads to a much bigger move into all-time highs. And here's my bias and why I'm open to any type of negative news for Bitcoin or any type of backtest on 2024 or 2021 highs before the biggest market moves, is because the path of most fear makes sense for me in this market structure. So this is not financial advice, but in the case that we do see any type of backtest, I think that would be the most effective way to get people to capitulate before the real cycle begins. So just keeping tabs, and I want to emphasize we haven't had the crash of Bitcoin dominance. This was XRP's performance during the last two crashes of Bitcoin dominance, absolutely skyrocketing. Last cycle during the lawsuit, still doing a 10x. So we did retrace here, just like we retraced here, but we haven't had alt season, we haven't had the crash of Bitcoin dominance when XRP historically performs the most. So I'll reshare this. I know I've shared this on Twitter. I'll pull up Bitcoin dominance and go side by side here. So looking at Bitcoin dominance, when we crashed during 2017, this was alt season when XRP did this in this exact time window. And then during last cycle, when we saw alt season, the real crash of Bitcoin dominance, assets popping left and right and doing rotations, that was also when XRP retraced from 17 cents to over $1.90. So this is a relationship that I'm betting plays out again because it happened 2 times before. So could it be a little different? Could we get a rhyme? I believe that this plays out for a variety of assets. When we find our top for Bitcoin dominance, we need to see the actual crash, which we haven't seen at all. We can see the little fake out where I got very excited back here. We had a drop, but then a sharper recovery. So we still haven't found our top, and I'll keep guessing along the way. But the point being, and when you walk away from this video, is to remember that when we actually see the crash to the lows, that will be alt season. Historically, during this crash, as Bitcoin is going up, so those were the last two alt seasons, and that's what I'm betting on to see by the end of this year. And the thing that I believe in is that M2 is going to continue going up, just like many analysts are sharing, or the entire global system, the global economy breaks. So M2 goes up, and historically, even if this is a lagging indicator, leads to crypto and other risk-on assets to go up. So I'll continue to be talking about this, whether we get this next cycle now and we start rising like crazy, or we actually see any types of flash wicks or, in quotes, black swans. I think that all of this leads to a much bigger cycle. It's all good to anybody that thinks this analysis is garbage and they don't care about crypto cycles or these liquidity cycles that we seem to see every 3 to 5 years. I'm a believer in that because that's what we've witnessed and that's what I see on the chart. The future can always be different, and I know there are just a lot of long-term investors that know we are in a speculative, nascent asset class with a bunch of upside, considering the tokenization stats, considering new regulations, qualified custodians, and just holding long-term. And to anybody that might see this video that's new to crypto, I'm not telling you to buy anything or hold anything because this price is happening. This is what I'm doing, and I'm going to risk it. Historically, I believe that we get a liquidity cycle, I look like an idiot and just hold long enough, and I wait for another liquidity cycle, and that is the risk I'm taking as an investor in a speculative asset class. So I'll always be holding crypto assets long term, I mean at least over the next 5, 10, maybe 15 years as this asset class evolves, but I'm always thinking very big picture, thinking about Bitcoin when it came out in 2009 and where we're at today. It doesn't mean that every asset is guaranteed to succeed. Wins and making money is not guaranteed in this space whatsoever, but that is the potential for any assets that you hold. I know the quote and I like it, and I also think it's funny as diversification is for those people that don't know what they're doing, but at the same time, I try to diversify because nobody knows what they're doing in an asset class that you can't predict. But I'm a fan of historical analysis because really just based off the data, that's my best way to speculate for personal expectations during crazy volatility and anything in between. So thank you so much for watching today's video. A huge thank you to all that hit the like button, and I will catch you guys in the next one. We're going to run through a bunch of recent news. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to smash the like button and let me know your thoughts down below. You can find all links to my crypto resources, including tools for charting, trading bots, wallets, portfolio trackers, and exclusive discounts right in my link tree in the video description. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.